Mason Nation. It's Wednesday, February 19th, and welcome back to Mason Cable News. I'm Ashley Hill.
And I'm Desmond Jordan.
So, Des, I have to say, it is fantastic to be able to walk to work in just a light jacket. We don't have to bundle up anymore.
At all.
Because the weather's changing. It's fantastic.
I was so happy to see the snow melting, even though some people do want it to snow for school. Yeah. But definitely, I love the weather today. So, GMU's History 387 course, Coping with Violence, Experiences of the 20th Century, has partnered with National Research University Higher School of Economics in Russia. This Russian university is otherwise known as HSE and has collaborated with Mason students as well as the professor behind the cross-cultural interaction, Stephen Barnes. Barnes is an associate professor of history here at GMU, and he leads the video conference class with Irina Filatova, a professor at HSE. The main objective of the course is to delve into historic, impactful events that have affected the present world. This course touches the grinds of global affairs and international relations topics as worldly events and happenings are discussed. Repression is a major topic in the Coping with Violence course, as there are current acts of political parties or entities that subdue another party by force or suppression. Topics discussed are South Africa's apartheid, post-Holocaust, Cambodia's struggle, and other major historical events. What is incredible about this course is the interaction Mason students have with international students from the comfort of their respective universities. GMU continues to put innovative ideas into action in broadening each student's global mindset.
Well, remember that 4-day weekend we had because of snow? Well, you can thank Mason Green Machine for getting one of those days off. The day before Valentine's Day at the women's basketball game, the Green Machine saw President Cabrera watching in the stands and decided to take advantage of this opportunity. In unison, they all started chanting "No School Together" in hope of swaying President Cabrera's opinion. This was a sight to see since President Cabrera obviously agreed, as he was spotted with his wife chanting "No School" and clapping along with them. Mason Athletics even tweeted about this event and linked the tweet to a video on Facebook that you can check out. The Green Machine has always been known for being a lively group with their charismatic band leader, and it's endearing to see them carrying on their tradition.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch the video. It was pretty fun watching it with Cabrera and his wife. So Fairfax City drivers have encountered numerous run-ins with deer that inhabit the nearby forests and dart across streets and roads. The ever-increasing deer population in the area has made city officials come to a decision on what to do about this issue. Fairfax City has begun its new program that is aimed at controlling the deer population in the area. The program's component is to sterilize the female deer, or does. This program initiative is said to be better for both parties, deer and drivers, as no killing or harm is being done in the sterilization of the deer. The process to this system is to dart the deer as a means of tranquilization, so to speak, and spaying them. After surgery, the does are returned back to their environment with no harm done. This program has sparked controversy with animal rights activists, as they feel wild animals should be able to roam freely with no human interference. Fairfax City is conducting the sterilizations to later find out if this technique does in fact make a difference in the growing deer population. Homeowners, drivers, hunters, and farmers all have a say on the issue, while Fairfax City officials attempt to reach each party's desires.
This week we are interviewing Omar Zaki. He is better known as the parkour guy around campus. He dedicates a big chunk of his time to this sport, and we got a chance to sit down and talk to him.
So, I guess we're going to start from the top. And what got you started in parkour?
Well, I've been an athlete pretty much my entire life, and I did everything from track to soccer to swimming to volleyball, all over the place. And then in my junior year of high school, I discovered a parkour gym near me. And I'd always been interested in it because I always saw it on the internet and movies and whatnot, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Never thought I'd be able to do it though.
Right.
But I found out about this parkour gym called Urban Evolution, where I now teach. And
cool.
It was close, and I talked to my friend about it. I was like, hey, this is a parkour gym, do you want to go with me? And sure enough, that weekend we ended up there, and we took a really, really basic lesson, just an intro lesson in it, how to jump properly, how to roll properly, how to not dive properly. Started every weekend, we started practicing parkour. And then after a while, we started every day, we started doing it after dive practice because we started in the winter. And then we started dropping sports left and right. Forget swimming, forget diving, forget volleyball. I want to do parkour. And that's when we kind of became the parkour guys in our high school, my friend and I. And And we went back to Urban Evolution about a year later and showed them the videos that we shot, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are great.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to come teach for us? How have you guys been learning?" "Oh, we taught ourselves pretty much from YouTube." And so they offered us jobs, and I've been teaching there for nearly 2 years now, and it's been a great adventure.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I had no idea they had gyms. I
Right, yeah.
figured, an online community had to be there somewhere, right?
Yeah,
And so,
definitely. I mean, gyms only sprouted up in the past 5 years or so, and now they're you can find them pretty much anywhere you go. You just got to know where to look.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's really cool that this is actually becoming more official and less of an online sport.
are there competitions?
Because it's such a recent sport,
Mm-hmm.
most of the only competitions are on the absolute world-class level,
Right.
essentially the X Games of
Right.
parkour and free running,
Mm-hmm.
and they take top 18 in the world, so it's hard to compete, but they do have smaller competitions,
Mm-hmm.
less official, but still competitive, just to try and get your skill up,
Right.
and, in that more competitive area. But I haven't technically competed yet, but I hope to in the future.
Right.
I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Parkour and free running, is there any big difference there?
Technically,
That not everybody knows?
right, yeah. We don't really like to confuse people by giving them two terms, so we just refer to everything as parkour.
Okay.
But technically, parkour has no flips in it.
Oh, okay.
Parkour is just the movement of efficiency, getting from point A to point B,
Mhm.
climbing over walls, jumping over obstacles and whatnot, jumping down railings and rolling, or jumping from building to building. That's technically parkour. When you get into free running, that's when you get into the more expressive style with the flips and the acrobatics that aren't efficient. They're not actually going to help you get anywhere, but they
Right.
look great.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun, and they kind of showcase complete and true freedom of your entire body.
Okay.
You have total body control,
Yeah.
even when you're upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, I should hope so.
Right, yes.
Because I know there is a lot of risk associated with the sport.
Just like anything else, if you do it wrong, there
Yeah.
are consequences.
Mhm.
Parkour is no different. I wouldn't say parkour is riskier. I would say that a lot of other sports, like football and gymnastics, are the most they're the most highly rated sports to get concussions in.
Right.
Parkour, actually, everything is about safety, because we know that it has that misdemeanor of, oh, parkour is so dangerous, I can't do that.
Right.
But because we train the right way, we learn the right way, and we're responsible, and we're not, gonna just go and throw ourselves off of obstacles and hope we land on our feet.
Right.
The rate of parkour injuries is pretty low.
Mhm.
I have gotten an injury because I was one of those stupid kids. Before I officially started, I was like jumping off of stuff like, oh, look at me, like I'm
Yeah.
doing parkour. And
Yeah.
I landed wrong and I broke my wrist.
Oof.
But it's totally fine now, and I learned my lesson from then. And now I'm an instructor, and I'm always teaching my kids, no matter what, safety comes first.
Right. And so last but not least, what would you tell someone wanting to get started? They have no idea where they're going, but they've seen these guys on the internet.
Right. Well, I was right there with them. I was that kid sitting in the chair, watching the videos, wishing they could do it.
Mhm.
And then I took the first step. I went to a parkour gym, and I took an intro lesson, and I was like, oh, this isn't that difficult. You don't need any strength to do parkour.
Mhm.
Parkour, when done correctly, is continuity of momentum, transfer of momentum. So it doesn't take strength. Strength helps, just like anything else. The
Yeah.
stronger you are, it's definitely going to help. But you don't
Mhm.
need to be strong. Being fit, same thing. You don't need to be, because everybody can work at their own level. And then by doing parkour, you will become more fit. You'll gain muscle, you'll lose
Right.
weight, and it'll be great. It really helped out in that aspect. Danger, like I said, it's really not dangerous, but because the only videos that people see are the absolute top people in
Right.
the world,
Mhm.
doing double backflips off of 2-story buildings, like, oh, that's what parkour is? No, that's parkour at its highest extent. Well, free running
Right.
at its highest extent. So I would just say, you've got to take the first step if you're really interested in it. And again, it's not that difficult. Once I started, I was just another scrawny track runner with no muscle, just a desire to learn.
Mhm.
And now I'm the parkour guy.
Yeah, you are. That's very awesome. Thanks so much.
Of course. Thank you for the interview.
My pleasure.
Great.
Thank you, Britta, for that interview. And now onto a commercial break.
And now on to your event rundown.
You know which three things go well together? George Clooney, Sandra Bullock, and awesome cinematography. You can get all of that in one of the best movies of the year, Gravity, which is playing in the JC Cinema tomorrow at 9 p.m. This movie has been making a killing at the awards, but has unfortunately just been known by many as a person floating in space. This movie gets to the bare bones of what a story is and focuses on human survival and what we're able to do when we're fighting for our lives. Any fan of cinema and art should go see this.
Fans of live concerts and Lady Antebellum should pay close attention to this event. On Friday at 7 p.m. in the Patriot Center, 7-time Grammy Award-winning trio Lady Antebellum will be playing live, which is part of her Take Me Downtown tour. Tickets can be bought at sittertainment.com/Lady Antebellum. Get your tickets now before they run out.
Have you ever stopped yourself and felt the urge to dance? I know I have, but this is almost better. You will be able to watch the critically acclaimed dance group Mark Morris Dance Group at Concert Hall on Saturday at 8 p.m. The dance group is well known for their choreography working beautifully with the equally as good live music. Definitely don't miss this.
Hey, do you love making films or just shooting video with your friends? Do you also love to stay in shape? Well, now you can combine both of those things. Mason Rec is looking for student film showcasing how they stay in shape. You can submit your videos through YouTube or at their Twitter page.
Hello, once again, I am Tyler Byram with your Mason Cable News Sports Report. This week is a busy week here from Mason Athletics with the winter sports wrapping up and the spring sports about to begin. Starting off tonight, the men's basketball team will face the number 10 team in the country, St. Louis. Earlier this year, Mason faced the Billikens in St. Louis, where the Patriots forced overtime before an eventual 87-81 loss. This time, the match will be held inside the Patriot Center at 7 o'clock, as Mason tries to get on a roll and give St. Louis their first in-conference loss of the season. Earlier today, the men's and women's swimming and diving teams participated in the Atlantic 10 Championship. Notable scores of the day include the men's 1-meter dive prelims, where Nick Guttendorf from Mason finished in first place with a score of 309.95. The final for this event will go on later on tonight at 6:30, as long as the final for the women's 200 medley relay, the men's 200 medley relay, the women's 800 free relay, and the men's 800 free relay, all later on tonight as finals. Mason will be participating. The competition will continue on into the weekend as Mason hopes to steal away awards in our inaugural season in the Atlantic 10. The wrestling team will finish their regular season at home against Maryland inside the rack on Thursday in preparation for the EWL Championships in Cleveland, Ohio. The baseball team, which is currently 3-0, will play in a tournament in Myrtle Beach from Thursday to Saturday, facing teams like Coastal Carolina, Illinois, Wichita State, and Connecticut. The softball team is off this weekend after starting 0-2 in a preseason tournament. This weekend, Mason Cable Sports will bring you the broadcast of the women's lacrosse team on Friday at 5 o'clock as they play their first home game of the season against UC Davis, and as they play Winthrop at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Saturday, we'll also give you the men's volleyball first EIVA matchup of the season as they play the New Jersey Institute of Technology at 7 o'clock. These broadcasts will be available on Mason Cable Network, channel 231 on campus, and online at gomason.com. Until next time, I am Tyler Byram. See you next time, Mason.
Thank you so much, Tyler. So now we're going to give you tweets of the day.
So the first tweet: I didn't know how to spell George before I came to college, but I sure did learn quick seeing how I go to George Mason.
That's actually a really
That's
funny one.
yeah. I'm glad she knows how to spell it now.
Well, I completely understand her. It is kind of a tricky word, and I'm in the same boat. I understand. Our next one: I love how college never fails to surprise me, and for that, I thank you, George Mason. By Cameron.
Nice tweet.
It really was. I love whenever we have those heartfelt tweets.
Yeah, definitely. And the last tweet: George Mason students are always up for a challenge. I thought it was really funny, like just walking up the steps, even though there's one clearly like right there.
Well, that's all we have for today, Mason. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Desmond Jordan. See you next week, Mason.